In this video here, we're going to be covering the specifics of the YouTube algorithm and how you as a creator, or if you are an operator for someone else, can leverage these principles of the updated YouTube algorithm to help push whatever mentorship you're selling, community you're trying to push, whatever it may be. We're going to be looking into the structure behind the flywheel system, which I'm going to cover in this video, and how you could implement the tactics that I'm going to talk about in this video to push your people out in front of more eyeballs and obviously lead to more cash collected by leveraging the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to be covering everything from the start, from the 3 phases YouTube went through in terms of them optimizing their algorithm. And then we're going to cover the flywheel system, like I mentioned, the philosophy behind it, how you could implement it yourself. And then we're just going to finalize it with a video that I've previously made on my channel. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. And this video, like I said, is going to be covering how the YouTube algorithm actually works. Now, before we dive into that, it's important to understand how the YouTube algorithm used to work. So phase 1 of how the YouTube algorithm used to work was essentially YouTube promoted videos solely based on how many people clicked the thumbnail. So as you can see with this stupid image that I put in here, if you remember YouTube a long time ago, it was flooded with videos like this, where essentially they would put in some sort of a clickbait thumbnail, and a lot of people would be like, what the hell, like what happened in this video here? They would click on it, and then YouTube would track the CTR, and then from there it would just get pushed out to more and more people. But people were getting frustrated because they were all clickbait essentially, right? So they would hook you in with some kind of a crazy thumbnail, you'd click on the video, and then the rest of the video did not fulfill on whatever the clickbait thumbnail try to lure you into the video for. So this did not work. And as we're going to discuss in phase 2, they did make improvements to it. But the result of this specifically was it created an era of extreme clickbait. So tons of misleading thumbnails. And the problem with it was that the users would click, realize it was completely fake, and then leave the platform immediately. So this was really hurting YouTube's reputation as a platform, and then the retention of their viewers on the platform, which is very important because YouTube specifically pushes ads, and the more ads a user watches when watching YouTube videos, the more money YouTube makes. So this was creating an issue for YouTube. So in phase 2 here, YouTube tried to essentially solve this by implementing the watch time metric. So how it worked was essentially YouTube added the watch time metric as a metric to stop clickbait. They wanted to see if people actually stayed to watch the video after clicking on the thumbnail. So as we discussed in phase 1, if there was a really interesting thumbnail and they clicked, they used to push that video out to tons of people. But in phase 2 here, if someone got hooked in with a clickbait thumbnail and then everyone was immediately leaving, YouTube would stop pushing it out, because then that is a very clear metric that it is completely clickbait. And the result of this was creators made longer videos to keep the retention high. But the problem here was, even if people watch the whole video, creators were still putting third-party links in the description of the video. So think stuff like Amazon affiliate links, sponsors, sales pages, etc. And users would watch the video and then leave YouTube to still go to another site. So YouTube did not have a system in place to still track people that are essentially pushing people to third parties. So if you are essentially selling something, trying to push someone to another platform off of your YouTube channel, they did not have this issue solved. And YouTube really doesn't want this, because as a business, they want people to stay on YouTube, watch more ads, and keep engaging with creators on YouTube. So this is the problem that this was creating. And they hated this because YouTube is a business that makes money selling ads. They only make money if the user sees more ads. And if a user leaves the platform, YouTube then loses revenue. So this is why they really didn't like this. And I kind of described this before. But this leads us up until phase 3, which we are currently in. And this is the session watch time era. And the current secret metric that YouTube really pushes is CTR plus session watch time. So CTR is essentially how many people click through when they see the video pop up in their feed. And then session watch time we are going to get to in a second here. But the definition is, it doesn't just care how long they watch your video, so the watch time, it cares how much time they spent on YouTube after clicking your video. So what I mean by this is, if someone clicks on your video watches it, whether it be the whole thing or a certain portion of it, and then they leave the YouTube platform after, YouTube doesn't like that because the viewer left the platform. However, if they watch your video, like let's say they watch 3 minutes of your video, and then during the middle of the video, they went to go watch someone else's video, because your video kept the user on the platform and didn't push them off, YouTube will still continue to push it out, because YouTube, they don't care about you as an individual creator. Obviously, this is all algorithmic at the end of the day, and they don't want to push people off the platform. They want to keep people on it. So it doesn't even matter, as like obviously watch time on your certain videos still does matter, but the higher leverage algorithmic benchmark that you should be looking at is the session watch time, like how long people are staying on the YouTube platform after watching your specific video. So as we're going to get into, this is not a metric that is necessarily trackable. I know people have certain methods they try to employ and stuff like that, but this is more of a secret metric that runs in the back end. But there is a strategy you could implement this, and you must align yourself with YouTube's incentives. Instead of sending people off platform, e.g. to some kind of like a sales page, a funnel or something like that, you send them to another one of your videos. And the session starter is basically if your video convinces a user to watch a second and third video. YouTube views you as a session starter and will aggressively promote your content because you are keeping users on the app to watch more ads. So we're going to get into this in a second. This might not make sense now, but it's all going to be very clear here in a little bit. But yeah, fantastic. Now we understand how the algorithm works and what YouTube specifically wants. And now how do we create content on YouTube that is in line with YouTube's algorithmic incentives to both maximize our sales, keep people on the YouTube platform, and get our videos pushed out to the maximum amount of eyeballs as possible. So now we're going to get into the Flywheel system, and we're going to get into more so the conceptual side of it and how you could implement it. I have a more technical video, which I'm going to recommend at the end of this, but this here should be enough to give you an idea of the system and how you could start implementing it for yourself. But basically, the way most creators operate is like a shotgun. They spray random videos out, hoping one goes viral. But in order to win in this game, you need to structure your channel like a solar system. So what do I mean by that? The structure here is you have the sun versus the planets. So this is an analogy I'm going to use to explain this. But with the Flywheel system, what essentially happens is you have your VSL hosted as a public video on your YouTube channel. And this is the sun within the solar system, obviously. I even have a little graphic here. I don't even know why I put this in here, but I guess it's there. And the VSL is obviously your conversion asset. It sits in the center of your universe, and it is a timeless high production video that explains your core philosophy and sells your solution. So whatever you're selling, it's explained within this public VSL on YouTube, and it does not change, and it does not even have to change for as long as you don't change your offer. Obviously, if you start changing a bunch of different stuff and stuff like that, you're gonna have to reshoot it and make a new one. But the way the planets work within this the solar system, the feeder videos, the session starters, as I've explained before, these are your weekly uploads. They cover specific searchable trending topics. So like the best niche for 2024, how to do outreach, etc., etc. And the gravity behind this is every single planet video has one job, and that is to pull the viewer into the sun. So if you think about this, the planet videos, which are the smaller kind of like how-to style videos where you're teaching certain things and they're SEO optimized, are obviously explaining the topic that the video promises to explain, but then after are pushing the viewer to another video. So that is the CTA of the planet video. The CTA of the planet video is, hey, I have this other video which goes over my entire system. I cover the entire process in this other video. Check out the first link in the description, and then you essentially link your VSL within the description and then push people to there. And what this does is this is already boosting your session time. So YouTube sees that the planet video, so the feeder video that you created, kept someone on the platform. So it pushed them from that video to your VSL, and then it kept them on the platform. So that is you aligning yourself with YouTube's incentive, and that keeps people on the platform. So we're going to continue explaining this, but basically you could think about this like the milk at the back strategy that grocery stores employ. So the logic behind this is stores put milk, a commodity everyone needs, at the back of the store. Why? because to get the milk, you have to walk past the cookies, the chips, the soda, and you end up interacting with the whole store just to get the one thing that you came for. And the way you could apply this is the aisles, so your feeder videos. The viewers search for a specific problem. So they'll search like how to get clients, just anything along these lines, any kind of how-to video to pull them in. And they find your feeder video, they find the video helpful, but it is just one aisle. It solves only one part of the puzzle. And the milk, so the VSL in the back, or the milk in the back of the store, which is essentially your VSL that lives on your YouTube channel. At the end of your feeder video, what you want to do, and you want to link it in your description, like I said before, is if you want the complete system on how to put this all together, watch this video next. It's the first link in the description, and then that pushes people to there. So the key difference with this is you do not need to link to a website. You link to your VSL, which is also on YouTube. And the reason this hacks the algorithm, the session time loop, is this is the technical secret behind why this works. The old way was there used to be a penalty. So a viewer watches a video, clicks the link in the description, leaves YouTube, and then goes to a landing page. YouTube's reaction to this is, hey, this creator is sending people off of our platform. We are losing ad revenue. Stop promoting their videos as much. Very logical. YouTube is a business. And the flywheel way, or the way I'm trying to explain it right now, essentially, is a viewer watches a feeder video, clicks the link in your description, and then watches the VSL you have up on your YouTube channel. And YouTube's reaction to this is obviously positive because this creator just generated 20 minutes of watch time after the first video ended. And this is a session starter, promote them to everyone. So now we are starting to move fluidly with the algorithm, and YouTube is obviously going to reward us for this because we are keeping people on their platform. And the compounding effect behind this, we are going to cover right here, but this is what creates exponential growth rather than linear growth. So the standard way that YouTube used to work was you post a video, it gets views for 48 hours, it dies, you have to go back on the hamster wheel, record another video, and then keep pumping out video after video after video. But with this flywheel system, you post a feeder video today, it points to the VSL in the description, and then in 6 months, someone searches for the topic, they find a feeder video, and they get funneled to the VSL. And as you continue to push more and more feeder videos onto your channel, you're always able to link the VSL. So you're able to link the VSL in all of the videos on your channel and push people to that through a CTA in the video. And then after some time, the result of this is your VSL gets views from videos that you posted literally 3 years ago. And every new video you post isn't just a new video, it's a permanent road sign pointing traffic to your main VSL. And the VSL ends up getting more and more views as time goes on, not less. So we're essentially leveraging all of the content that you create and pushing people to the VSL. So this is very simple. This is very, very simple. And another interesting effect behind this is when all of your feeder videos are pointing to the main VSL on your YouTube channel, YouTube also starts learning the demographic or the type of person that likes to watch your VSL, and will start recommending it to them. So it'll start popping up in the recommended, and YouTube will use the data it has on the specific demographics, whether it be male, female, age, location, stuff like this, and it'll push them to the type of people that like to watch that video and engage with this. So this is why the VSL gets more and more views as time goes on. It's very counterintuitive because most YouTube videos you post, they'll run for a week or two and then they'll kind of like start tapering off, getting less views. But implementing this system, you're constantly able to push new traffic to your VSL, get more eyeballs on it, and then by proxy make more sales. So we're essentially inverting the entire system. So now we're not going to get into how to structure a good flywheel VSL in this video because that's its whole like own topic and stuff like that. But one really good flywheel VSL concept that's working extremely well right now is a free course video that is extremely in depth. So what I mean by this is if you are a creator teaching reselling in a specific, like let's say sneaker reselling, because reselling is a very broad niche, but let's say you're teaching sneaker reselling on your YouTube, what you would essentially do is create a free A to Z course explaining exactly how you do it, the systems that you implement, all the softwares that you use, how you handle all of the processes, and you basically teach someone from A to Z in a minimum 1 hour course video. It could be longer, like I'm sure you guys have seen some of them. They go up to 13 hours long. I've seen some that are 15 hours long. People really put a lot of time and effort into this. But the reason they do so is it's extremely in-depth and it works really well by building trust with the viewer. They clearly see what you're doing within the niche, because no one that doesn't know what they're doing creates a 15-hour video explaining the entire process and stuff like that. So you're able to build up a lot of trust, and after someone watches that, they're ready to pretty much buy anything from you because they've consumed hours of your content, they trust you, and they're just hopping on call, like ready to pretty much piff. Like you'll get way more piffs this way because people just trust you. And this really simplifies the entire sales process. So if you want a more in-depth look at this specific YouTube funnel, check out the first video, which I have linked here in the description. As you can see, this video is a feeder video pushing to this specific video here. So this is an example of the system live in action. But there I cover the entire system in some more depth and show real creators on YouTube applying this knowledge and actually pushing people to a public VSL they have up on their YouTube channel. So if you're interested in this strategy and interested in hacking the YouTube algorithm for your benefit to get more views on your videos and obviously sell more, check out this video. And as always, if you are a creator running your own offer and you want to sell info products, whether it be a one-on-one coaching offer, low ticket community, me and my partner with these creators, manage all of the back-end operations, so you could just focus on creating content and obviously engaging with all of your people who join your program. And then we pretty much handle all of the boring stuff on the back end for a percentage. So if you're interested in that, that should be the second link in the description. I've linked my Calendly. We could hop on a quick call, discuss whether or not I could help you. And that's going to be it for this video. And as always, let me know in the comment section down below what types of videos you would like to see, because I do have a lot of videos up on my YouTube channel as of this point, and am starting to sort of run out of some ideas. But if you have a specific topic that you want to see covered, let me know in the comments and I will do my best to make a video on it. Thanks for watching.